Hi, let's talk about how to hire a web designer. I wish this was something that I could just give you a magical referral to the right person and that you would be completely satisfied. However, I find that there can be a lot of frustration in working with a web designer, web developer, if you are not clear from the get-go what to expect and how to work well together. So we're going to give you some tips on how to hire the right person. Very first tip is you've got to do your homework. You need to look at their websites they've designed. You need to get referrals from clients who have worked with them. And let's be clear that when someone gives a referral, they're giving referrals of, if you ask, can I have some references? They'll say, sure. And they'll give you references of people who really liked working with them. I recommend that you find people who loved their experience of working with a web designer, and then you reach out to those people and look through their portfolios. When you hire, there's a couple of things that you could do, a couple of options. One is that you can buy a package. Now, when you buy the package, what happens is you pay X amount of dollars, it's a flat rate, and it's included with certain amounts of things. And sometimes the package comes with additional support, ongoing support. Here's what you need to be very cautious of. Who owns that website? I had a website that I had built in the very beginning by a company who it was a package deal. And when I left working with them, I did not get to take my website with me, which I didn't understand from the get-go. So that whole website got lost. So be careful that you want to make sure you own the hosting and they put the website on your hosting. Because if they have the website on their hosting, they can hold your website hostage and not give it to you. So make sure the website's on your hosting, you own the hosting, you own the domain, and then they build on yours. That way, if at any point in time that relationship is no longer working, you can simply block them out, change your password, they're out of your website, and you can move forward. So the second thing to be aware of if you're hiring on a package deal is that sometimes what happens is, think about it, when you sell a package, you're thinking as the salesperson, okay, I sold this package, I want to get this done quickly, and then I want to move on so I can sell another package and make money. So sometimes you still want changes, but they feel like they're done. They feel like they've done what they got paid to do, and they don't want to keep making changes. So my advice is be very clear in the interview process of, how do you handle revisions? What if I'm not satisfied? What will we do there? And then sign a contract with your web developer. Get a contract in place where they've specified what is included. You're very clear. It's very well negotiated. That will go a long way. The second option for how to hire is that you pay someone hourly. Now, hourly is a little bit of a gamble. My last two websites that I've done, last three, were all hourly, and I preferred it. Now, the first one was way less. My very first website that I had built was $2,500. It was kind of a mess. It was that whole package deal. Then when I lost the website and needed to redo it, the next person that I had did the design for me, and it ended up being about $400 or $500. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Then when I rebranded and changed my messaging, I totally redid the whole website. And when I did that, I used the same person, and it was like $2,000 just because there was more work going into it. It was more customization. And so, you don't really know. My experience is that if you find a good web designer with a reasonable rate, you can actually pay less doing hourly than sometimes you would for the package, especially if you're not looking for tons of customization. It's up to you. However you decide to do that, again, contracts in place. Make sure expectations are really clear. Make sure deadlines are clear of when they want things, when they plan to be done, when you want to launch. Communication is really key to hiring a good web designer. So just to review, I know this is a quickie video, but just to review, make sure you get good references and you do your homework to make sure this is a person. Second tip, do you want to pay a package deal? And if so, you know what to be careful for, or do you want to pay hourly? And if you are paying hourly, it's a good idea to ask them for an estimate for how long they think it's going to take you. So you're not thinking, like my second website, I was thinking, oh, it'll be just like last time. I didn't realize it took 4 times as long to build what I wanted to be built. And had I just asked that question, I wouldn't have had any surprises. And let's be clear, I love my website. I would have done it even if I had known how much it was going to be. It's just always nice not to have surprises. So that is some tips for you on how to hire the right web designer. One more tip. You can hire a web designer on Upwork.com, and it will be less than hiring someone stateside. However, just make sure that you can communicate really well. Web design is one area where you don't want to hire someone that they're hard to talk to. It's just hard to manage. All right, that's it for this one. Go ahead and watch our next video on how to work with your web designer.